Big blow to Moses Wetangula as Supreme Court has refused to suspend the ruling that Azimio declared the majority in the National Assembly. Welcome back to our channel. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Real News Updates Media, the channel where you get all your trending politics. The Court of Appeal has dismissed a petition by Speaker Moses Wetangula that sought to overturn a High Court ruling declaring the Azimio coalition as the majority in the National Assembly. The ruling comes a month after High Court in Nairobi declared Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition as the majority in the National Assembly, adding that Wetangula violated the laws by declaring Kenya Kwanza as the majority. Wetangula claimed the Kenya Kwanza majority had 179 members, while Azimio la Umoja was the minority with 157 members. The court further accused Wetangula of possessing a dual role as Speaker of the National Assembly and the same time Ford Kenya Party leader, which was unconstitutional. Speaker Moses Wetangula and Majority Leader Kimani Ichungwa are in jeopardy as their positions are set to be taken by ODM since they are the majority in the assembly. Since they have the majority, they can decide to vote out Wetangula, and definitely Kimani Ichungwa will not retain his position. Will Wetangula challenge the High Court ruling, or they are already paving way for Azimio as majority leader is going to be handed over to Junet Mohammed? And our big question is, why do you think Wetangula will salute to the ruling by Court of Appeal by giving Junet Mohammed the majority and handing over the power from UDA to ODM? Kimani Ichungwa is no longer going to be the majority whip, meaning the finance bills and other bills that are passed will be considered as null and void. Wetangula and Ichungwa are cornered. With no passing of the finance bill, then definitely the government cannot operate. And Supreme Court is not really ready to tolerate Kenya Kwanza government by granting them favors after the fallout between Supreme Court, the filing of the removal of the petition of the 7 judges, including Chief Martha Koome. So I don't think Koome is ready to tolerate Kenya Kwanza government by doing them any favors. Hence, the ruling by Supreme Court and High Court that Azimio maintains the majority rule will be definitely backed by the Supreme Court. With Raila Odinga in the government, I don't think he would want to let it slide easily. Already he has secured PSS and 7 permanent secretaries in the new reshuffle of Ruto's cabinet. But that still does not give Raila Odinga enough powers according to the MOU signed by the broad-based alliance. Raila is targeting a more powerful position so that he can actually acquire the power, and most definitely that is the National Assembly. Is Raila Odinga targeting the Senate or the National Assembly? Will Raila Odinga desire the Vice President's slot to be ODM stronghold come 2027? The National Assembly is actually Raila's target. He will definitely have the government by the horns, since all bills passed will have to pass through ODM in the National Assembly as they have the majority rule. I think Raila Odinga has officially cornered President William Ruto. If the Supreme Court actually grants him the National Assembly majority. Wetangula is under jeopardy. If Azimio is granted majority rule, definitely Wetangula and Ichungwa will be kicked out like dogs with pleasure. With Junet Mohammed as the majority, whom do you think will replace Speaker Moses Wetangula from ODM? Raila Odinga has a higher target, and the National Assembly can actually give him the powers he desires. That will actually have concluded the broad-based agreement between Raila Odinga and President William Ruto. What do you think? With Kimani Ichungwa betraying his allies, he instigated the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua when Ndindi Nyoro was being grilled. He didn't support Nyoro. In fact, he was also on Nyoro's case with the budget's allocation. Kimani Ichungwa is seen as a traitor. He betrayed Rigathi Gachagua by instigating his impeachment. He also didn't support Ndindi Nyoro the time he was being grilled with the budget's allocation by Junet Mohammed and the rest. I don't think anyone wants to see Ichungwa as the majority leader. People fed up with Ichungwa. People really celebrate the fall of Ichungwa because of his terrible betrayal. Power is usually not permanent. Create enemies knowing one day you won't be in power. And our big question is, whom do you think will take over Speaker Moses Wetangula's position in Azimio, with Azimio being granted the majority rule? Will anyone sympathize with Kimani, Ichungwa and Speaker Moses Wetangula if they are stripped of their positions as Speaker and the majority rule? I know people are so excited to remove Wetangula as Speaker and Ichungwa as the majority. They really can't wait for it. What's your thought? Leave your views on our comment section. Subscribe to Royal News Updates Media, the channel where you get all your trending politics. JD Ishmaels.